So we're here at the United States Pony Club annual meeting and equine symposium. I'm Jessica, a graduate from the Camino Real region, and I'm here with Chris Cox, who was our keynote speaker last night at our Founders Award banquet dinner, and he gave a wonderful keynote speech. So we're going to try to recap a few of those questions. Many of you may not know that Chris is he was a pony clubber growing up. And a lot of his experiences as a professional horse trainer and world-traveled clinician come from that pony club experience. So Chris, tell me a little bit about growing up as a horseman, growing up in pony club, the challenges you faced, and how that made you the horseman you are today.
Well, you know, pony club was a big part of stepping up my horsemanship, I believe. Back in the 1970s is when I was in pony club, and we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, and there was a really good program in the area that we were at, and I learned a lot about being competitive, also about sportsmanship, and built a lot of friendships, and it was just a great foundation to start with. No matter whether you're a Western rider or an English rider or whatever you do, Pony Club has a really good foundation to start from.
So as you know, there's been a lot of changes in the United States Pony Club coming up, and we're including now some Western instruction. And why don't you tell me some of your thoughts about that?
Well, I think that it's fantastic. We're just in a meeting, and I asked the group what is the percentage of men and women or girls and boys in the Pony Club, and they said 96% girls. So right there, that gave me an answer that bringing Western into this organization is certainly going to increase the number of boys and young men to come into this organization that I think that probably wouldn't otherwise be able to be involved in Pony Club. And I believe if the Western structure is set up right and the good horsemanship is used, I think that the sky's the limit.
And of course, one of the things that the Pony Club is known for is teaching wonderful horse management skills. So perhaps that quality of instruction we'll be able to bring to the Western disciplines as well.
You know, one of the biggest problems in the industry today, and just general industry, that anybody can hang up a plaque out on the side of the highway and banner and call themselves a trainer. It's not regulated. And what Pony Club has been able to do, and especially through the Western, is that we can regulate this and we can actually license it and register these young men and women when they become trainers. And then they've got some kind of formal education to start from. And I think the quality of the horsemanship and the quality of training and their clientele will only get better.
So Chris, what's one piece of advice you could give a young pony clubber who loves riding and perhaps wants to be a horse trainer but knows that not everybody can become a horse trainer?
Well, first of all, one thing that you have to do is you have to do it because you love to do it, that it's a passion. If you look at it as a job, you'll never be successful because it's not, the hours are a lot different than your 9-to-5 job, and the desire to want to get better, and whether it's the elements of weather, from cold to hot to late nights to driving all day and trying to get somewhere. It's a big commitment, and I think that if you can commit yourself early, young men and women can commit themselves early and keep on a straight path, you'll get there a lot quicker and be a lot more successful.
So even for the kids who decide they're not going to go into horse training, they can have a lifelong love of horses and stay involved.
Yeah, the passion. We're in it because we love the horse and we love what the horse does for us. So.
Well, Chris, tell me one more thing. What is the #1 challenge that you had to overcome as a young horseman, maybe even as a pony clubber yourself, that has stuck with you today?
Over the years, it's changed my life in learning how to control my emotions, controlling my temper, my frustrations, because that feeds right into the horse. And for me to become a better horseman, I had to learn how to control that. I had to learn how to become more positive and control my breathing, my emotions, and understand that it wasn't the horse, that it was me. And then when I looked at myself and changed myself, then I became a horseman.
And what would be, if you had to give only one piece of advice to a young Pony Club member today, what would it be?
Try to find the most accomplished and the best person that you would like to be like, admire, and go clean their stalls, go brush their horse, act like that you would do anything to learn something, and that person will take you under their wing and help you. The one problem today is that everybody wants to be paid and be taught, and it just doesn't happen. If you want to be good, find it, seek it out. You might drive there, you might take a train there. If you show the incentive and you show the desire to want to learn, that person will help you.
Well, I want to ask you one more thing, and that's a more general question. What is, do you suppose, the number one challenge that horse people today might face in the industry and the culture and the world of horsemanship and horses, horse ownership?
I think that the way the country is moving, it's making it harder and harder for people to have horses. I think some of the government legislation out there is being tough at, the expense in having an animal, the hay, the feed, pastures, less land, and it's becoming a really something we need to think about. And horses have been a part of this country from the beginning of time, and we need to preserve that. And these animals are, it's not talked about in the Wall Street Journal, it's not talked about CNN, but these animals are helping our veterans coming over from war that has had dramatic injuries and physically and mentally and changing their lives. And that's not talked about enough. That's not on the main news. That needs to be talked about and needs to be headlined.
What was it you said last night about the bald eagle and as an American symbol?
Well, the horse has done so much for this country, and I don't know what the bald eagle has done for this country. There should be a horse on the top of the flag.
Well, Chris, thank you very much for coming to the United States Pony Club annual meeting and equine symposium, and we're very glad to have you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.